Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to G Bear's Off-Road Ways, a homestead in the desert. And here we are on the 16th of November already. And yeah, it's still 100 degrees here in the greenhouse at 3:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, I've been out here for most of the day taking care of things. One of the things I did was I cleaned up all the seeds off this table because I want to get this table out of here and get some shelving in over here against the wall where I can get some more plants going and get some more of my fruit trees into bigger pots like I did to this one. Okay, this one goes all the way up there, and I got it into this bigger pot. It was in one that size, and it was pretty much root bound. So I spent some time and I got that one transferred. Now these two I need to transfer also. They both got some pretty good heavy trunks on them like this. That one had taken a hit from the cold last year and the heat, and I had to cut it off, and I got some new sprouts out of it. And same thing with this one. And I've still got a piece of dead trunk in there I've got to cut out, so I'll be doing that when I do the transfer. And I'm going to get those into two bigger pots like I've got over here. This is one of them, and the other one's down there below on the bottom of that shelf. So everything's doing great. I am going to get some of this stuff moved around and transferred, and this soil, I'm using it up right now to get all these other things planted. I also got another one of my grow boxes going here, and I got a carrot planted in there. And a little tip, you can see the little grains of sand in there. You take about a cup of sand, dump your whole package of seed in there, and shake it up. Put your hand over the top and shake it up real good, and mix it in with the sand, and then sprinkle the sand onto your soil. And then I just throw a small 1/4 inch layer of more soil over the top of that, water it down. And when they start popping up, you can thin them out a little bit. You just pull out the ones that you don't want and discard them. But that's the fastest, easiest way because everybody knows how small carrot seeds are. Look at the radishes from yesterday. They're really doing well. They've really taken a liking to plant transplanting. So they're coming up quick. And I had one person say they've never had cherry radishes before. Well, here it is right here. Cherry bell right there. See it? So that's what they look like. They're little round cherry bells. And that's what I've got growing in here. The other ones, of course, are the French salad type. They're elongated, and those are over on the other side. But yeah, everything's coming up roses. I'm going to be getting all of these seeds into the little refrigerator, and I'm going to pull out the bottom crisper drawer, and then I'm going to put those in alphabetical order. I got to make some little paper tabs to put them in, so it'll be A, B, C, D, and be able to, if I'm looking for basil, I'll just go to the B and look through the basil, and BA should be the first part of it. So that's how I'm starting to sort things out. There's all the flower seeds over there. Some of these bags had gotten a little bit of moisture from the overrun out of those plants. So I just sorted them out onto the dry part of the table. I'll let them dry out. And then I'll open one of the bags and see if it affected the seeds at all. Normally, these things are pretty good at holding moisture out of the seed, but they did get pretty wet, so we'll see what happens there. All right, so coming over this way, of course, the cabbage is doing just peachy dandy, but what I did was I got through here today and I cleaned up all the dead tomato plants and the dead pepper plants. All of that stuff is all composted now, except for the frozen tomatoes. Well, the good tomatoes, they're all up at the cabin now. They're going in the windows to see if I can ripen them. The frozen tomatoes, the ones that froze solid and then dried out and wilted, those all went into my worm farm. And for those of you who don't know what my worm farm is, I also made one for my neighbor. And she loves it because it's a good way to keep worms in your garden. And we all know how good worms are for a garden. I need to put another coat of black paint on this, but this is one of those kitty litter buckets. And at the bottom of it, I drilled some 1.25-inch holes all the way around it. And then you bury it in the soil like this. So when you got your little scraps of food and stuff from when you're cooking, and you peel an onion, anything like that, anything organic, you come out and toss it in there. And every now and then while I'm watering the garden, I'll put a little bit of water in there to dampen the stuff. And the worms can crawl from the garden, go into the worm farm, eat the stuff that you plant in there. It's like a restaurant for them. And then they come out the little holes again and go back into the soil and move around the garden. I don't know if the ones from the other side of town come all the way down here, but I know the ones that live in this area do. Okay, now you see the little white sprinkles here. It goes through the whole garden. It goes through all of my planters and all of that. That's Epsom salt. And that puts in the micronutrients back into the soil after it's been used for growing other plants through the year. You want to add that back in. So it's good to do that before you start planting anything. Now you see that this soil has dropped down a good 4 inches all the way around, because this was filled all the way up to the tops of those boards when I started at the beginning of the year. It's down a good 4 to 6 inches through the whole garden here. So I'm going to need about 4 or 5 more bags of garden soil. I will be picking those up through the winter when the prices goes down on them. And I'll bring those over here and get them all sorted out and let them start breaking down between now and outdoor planting season. That'll have my garden all ready to go for the spring. And I'll be starting my vegetable plants inside of the greenhouse early, so that as soon as the weather breaks and it's time to plant, my plants will come out here into the garden and get transplanted. So I got a lot of cilantro coming up inside of these little buckets here everywhere because of this cilantro plant and these coriander seeds right there. And by the way, coriander seeds are also a medicinal herb. You can crush those and make a tea, and that's good for your body. So, and unlike chemical drugs, you don't have to worry about overdosing on natural stuff like that. So just go ahead and use it if you feel like you want to. But you can look up on the internet and find out what coriander seed tea is good for, and it'll tell you. So yeah, everything here is all sprinkled with the Epsom salts. My grapevine over there still needs to be pruned, but there's still a little bit of life in some of the leaves, and I don't like pruning that. Now that last part of the branch that is green, that'll get clipped off. And you want to leave just the woody part of the grapevine. You want to cut it back to where it's just the woody part. All of the stems from the old leaves, those all have to be taken off. And that's where you get it ready for the next sprouting in spring. And all the little buds will pop out real early on it, and then it'll start growing new branches. And that's what you want. So I want to get this trellis covered over on that side all the way across with that grapevine, so I have a lot more grapes this year. And maybe instead of just eating them, I'll be able to make me some wine. All right, this one still thinks it's springtime. It's still coming up. And this one I didn't even think was going to make it, but it finally took. And my other two over there, the Concord grapes, they didn't take, so I'll probably be pulling those out. I've got to get them in before springtime because I got 1 year at Home Depot to replace those things, but they don't come out until the springtime. So I'll have to get those in between now and then, and I'll just take a credit on it. Get one of those little in-store credit cards. So when spring comes, I'll go back and I'll get me more Concord grapevines and see if I can't get them to take this year. These didn't look very good at all when I took them out of the package, but I figured I'd give them a chance anyway. They are guaranteed, so why not, right? All right, so my herb garden here. It's hard to see right now because the lights in different perspective here, but there's all kinds of little plants coming up all through here. Little green sprouts coming up. And it's going to be my dill, mammoth dill, my Genovese basil, parsley, and oregano. And I did have a couple of packs of rosemary seeds I sprinkled around the backside of that rosemary bush right there. And that's oregano also. And for those of you who don't know, oregano is also an antibiotic plant. Not only for you, but it's excellent for your chickens. So instead of giving them chemical antibiotics in the feed and all of that stuff, just break off some sprigs of fresh oregano and toss it in there. They'll eat it up and it's good for them. All right. So I think that's about going to cover everything I had to cover for today. I'm going to give this one a how do you do and move on to the processing of this so that I can get it posted. Now, sometime between now and the weekend, I will have everything all set up and ready for the next seed giveaway. There's going to be a few changes to the rules on it. They're going to be easier, and it's going to be a shorter period of time. But you'll still be able to get in a lot more entries. Because remember, it was 1 entry per day. Well, I'm thinking about going up to 2 entries per day. And that'll be in the new rules. It'll tell you when those entries will be available. So you can't enter your 2 entries until it's time. But and you can't go 4 entries. Some of you guys out there, I know you're already thinking, "Oh, I'll just do it twice." Now, you can't do it. My software picks it up. It says, "Oh no, he's already entered today," or "She's already entered today." So okay, that's all I have. And I will finish getting that together, and stay tuned for the rest of the week. One of the days during this week, I will announce it, and you want to get, if you missed the announcement, and you'll have to wait the next day to get your entries in, because that's when you'll see the announcement. Or if it's 3 days down the line, you're out of 3 days times 2 entries. That's 6 entries that you just blew. So remember, check every day. Check my videos every day. This is G Bear thanking you for joining me. Don't forget to thumbs up down there, and don't forget to subscribe down there. G Bear signing off.